And episode 21. Danny, what do we have on the list today? Go with the first thing we're doing.
Well, earlier today, I think we just want to talk about the whole 15-minute cities and how that's becoming a big topic, and plus there's all these conspiracy theories that people are throwing out there on the the TikToks, the Instagrams, the quick what they call reels, where people just mindlessly scrolling through them. Shorts, yeah.
I'm addicted to those.
I'm not, thank God. I can't do it.
Yeah, I watch one and then I see the next one and the next one. I'm like 15 minutes in, I'm like, shit, I gotta get back to work. Anyways, I don't know much about the 15-minute cities. I know it's a topic. There's two sides. There's the conspiracy that it's a tactic to basically lock us up or whatever. But you made a good point before about you can argue. What was the argument?
I don't remember because I'm pulling up one of the websites of 15-minute city.
Yeah.
About the whole concept is that all your essential needs in an urban society should be within 15 minutes of walking or biking distance. So like a grocery store, your medical needs, everything should be within 15 minutes. So you have a less use of your car. It's not, at least from what I see, I don't see strong proven arguments that they're just trying to take away your cars and lock us in a 15-minute neighborhood. It's just your basic stuff.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate. So what you're trying to tell me that they're building 15-minute cities so you don't drive your car? Would you say that?
So not saying don't drive your car, it's a less desire to drive your car.
Well, why does that matter if we all have electric cars like they want us?
Well, I don't know who they is.
Yeah.
And electric cars, I mean, if you have to use a car, probably better off using an electric car versus a gas combustion engine.
So what would the 15-minute city be? I mean, I get it, walking distance. I think, like you said before, off air, we can argue San Francisco and New York City would be like a 15-minute city.
Well, having a car in those cities would be stupid, right?
Well, it's useless, and especially in New York City, it's useless. You don't need it.
You don't need it. You have the public transportation there is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you get around walking just fine. All your essentials are really close by. So I get the concept. It would get squirrely if they're trying to get rid of your cars. Then yes, because I would want the freedom to be able to drive
Go on
from
road
city
trips.
to city, road trips. Yes, exactly.
Visit family, because you're not going to be able to get all family members together in the same 15-minute city.
And plus, we're looking at those reels of people talking about their conspiracies. It's like, how do you draw this conclusion that they're trying to lock us down, keep us within 15 minutes? You have to ask permission to go to the next 15-minute city. They're drawing such crazy strong conclusions, and I think people just want. It just really feed off those conspiracies, makes it juicy, makes it for clickbait.
I think they see what's going on in China and hearing about people that can't travel because of that social score that they have there. But if you have that here, I mean, let's be honest, the social scores, if it's for like committing crimes or stuff like that, then we're all fine. But if you start getting in trouble on social scores for believing one thing and not the other, and not the narrative of like not favoring or liking AOC's tweet, then you lose a point.
Well, that's getting to the extreme, but I don't see us being anywhere near that yet.
I don't see us either. I'm just trying to say what
I understand
thinking.
There's a possibility for that, but okay, we need to see the steps in between before we get to there, and I haven't seen that many steps in between yet.
Well, I think if you start seeing the steps, then you're already done. Then you're already gone. Because it's like anything else. I think the government's not stupid. CIA is not stupid. They're not thinking one move ahead like in checkers. They're thinking 6 move ahead like in chess. If we get this step done, it's too late. They can argue about that step when we're already thinking about the second step. So, society will always be one step behind because we're going to be mad about something that just went into fruition and not thinking about the second thing that's going to come because we don't know what the second thing is. And it's going to be labeled a conspiracy because you don't know what it is.
Well, yeah, it feels like everything's a conspiracy now.
Yes.
And it's a little overwhelming, and maybe that's an intentional thing to start discredit what is an actual conspiracy and what is not.
It's just an argument. It's just the other side arguing about something.
But I mean,
and that's why we're always going to be divided.
Yeah, it's just the 15-minute thing. Like, I get the idea. I mean, I guess it would kind of be nice to just go walk somewhere and come back. But I mean, well technically not Phoenix in the summertime.
I get, Phoenix in summertime, you're not walking. So they got to fix that if they want to do that in Arizona. But it has pros and cons. It really does. If it's 15 minutes, it has your necessities. Like you were saying, you're not in a bubble. You're not in a like cage. You're not in like Hunger Games in a certain quadrant where that's where you can only shop. Because if you're on one side and it takes you less to get to a different place because they have a Fry's here, but your friend that lives 3 minutes away has to go to a different Fry's because it's closer to him, then you can go to the other Fry's because it's closer to you. It doesn't mean you can't.
And keep in mind, most people's jobs are not within 15 minutes. That's not going to happen. A lot of people drive
virtual. We're gonna start going to virtual.
All right. Well, before we get there, step back.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about right now. A lot of people have jobs. I don't know if I can say the word most, but a lot of people I know and have jobs that they do 1 hour commutes one way.
A lot of people do like an hour commute. Yeah, 30-minute plus commute. So maybe it's just 15-minute cities are designed for your.
And besides, you said virtual. There's a pushback against remote work.
There's big time remote pushback. Your employers, because there's studies that show that they've lost so much money and revenue from having people work from home.
Whose revenue though? Is it like the restaurants people go to lunch to?
Well,
is it the car maintenance? Is it the gas that you burn?
Yeah, all those companies are losing money because you're staying at home. You're right. Restaurants. I didn't even think about that. I'm thinking about the companies that, like, people are at home, so they don't have someone coming by, walking, and going, "Hey, what are you working on? Hey, what are you doing?"
That's management's fault for not setting realistic expectations.
Correct. But people can get.
They can't adapt virtually, but you need to like really physically look at them.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference? Because I hate it when I go to the physical location at work and our meetings are still done virtually. Like, why am I here? This is ridiculous.
Because they just want to, get you in the office. I know a lot of people in my office. This week recently, a lot of the IT guys were like, bitching and moaning because they have to be there every day now. They were 1 day a week, then it went to 2 days a week, and now.
Well, guess what? Some of those guys are going to quit their jobs and go work for a competitor who's willing to give them that remote status
until they tell them to come back to work.
Or they might stay that way.
Or
some owners like remote work. Yeah. I don't have to do the overhead of paying.
You don't have to have an extra building. You don't have to pay rent. I mean, it works both ways,
right?
But I think
I know how to set the proper expectations to make sure the job gets done.
Yeah, but like companies like Verizon, AT&T, those call centers, they want their people back. Wells Fargo, Chase, that they let them do a hybrid. Now they're like, hey, we need you in here full time.
It's so hard to manage something that big, though.
Yeah.
It's there's just so many people. Like if the CEO, many of the people, like the owner, like small business, the owner knows like all of his employees and who they are. So it's easier to manage and put those expectations. But then when they get bigger and bigger, they're like, okay, I want to have a better eye on these people. The people I don't know personally or hired them. Yeah. Like I want to know what they're doing.
It's easy for Wells Fargo and like Chase to have everyone come back. It's just IT said, their workspaces, but now they'll know if they're late, they're walking in late. So the manager can see, hey, you're late. Opposed to being at home, they can sign in, but then they can still be making coffee and stuff like that.
And we know there's a resistance with remote work. The employers want to stay home. Even the executive level people say, I'd rather stay home. And companies are not providing any means to meet halfway, such as, hey, remote work, or we'll give you the option to, if you start coming to the office, we'll give you a stipend for travel, like your gas, like a gas stipend per month. We'll give you a pay bump for having to, people buy lunch at the local restaurants when they go to work rather than just make the food at home. The maintenance of your car, the cost of a car. But they're not offering any of that. It's just straight comeback. And plus time, right? The commute to work and from work, that's another 2 hours, right?
That's 2 hours of your life.
You do feel that 2 hours when you're a remote employee.
Wouldn't you rather do 2 hours of overtime at home than
now,
driving?
Who owns that 2 hours of commute? Is it the employee or the employer? Because you have to travel.
The employee has a drive, but that's I've always thought of that. The moment you leave home to drive to work should be on the employer. But if that was the case, a lot of people wouldn't be working, taking an hour commute because those people wouldn't be hired.
Then in addition, if the company knows that, then be like, okay, instead of a 8-hour workday, but a 6-hour workday with an 8-hour compensation. As a means to level off,
but you just lost 2 hours of productivity. Per
understood.
person is way too much. I mean, even our company, they get
that is a good point. It is a lot. That's
way
a lot.
Too much. I mean, how do you unless you had some kind of like hourly plus commission?
Or something like how? I mean,
We'll be happy to pay your hourly.
there's obviously jobs that require people to work on site. You know, like sanitation services,
I hope
hotel
so.
employees, right? Customer service jobs, right?
Yeah.
Not every job can be remote. Honestly, get taken
Actually,
over by
customer
robots.
service could be a very remote job.
Well, it depends. Like the front desk office people who
Oh,
greet the
that's
customers,
different.
right?
Yeah, yeah. But if you're doing like credit cards, Wells Fargo customer service, where you're calling in, hey, my phone is
You
not
don't
working.
need to be in a call center for that.
No, any call center job, most of them you can work from home
And you can make
because
expectations.
COVID showed us that every call
COVID
center
showed
went
us,
home.
the lockdown showed us a lot of our possibilities of what can be done productivity wise.
Correct.
And people have the path dependency that they don't want to change, and there's people who adapt to change.
Yeah.
Those two are always going to exist now. Now, like I said, people are going to quit their jobs that's telling them to come back because they're going to find the employer who
Yeah.
says, hey, we embrace remote work. We love it too, just like as much as you do.
Here's another thing though too that, and I'm just bringing up a story about a buddy of mine. I can't say his name, Taylor. Anyways, he was working 2 jobs during COVID, 2 full-time jobs, working from home, and even after COVID, he was still working 2 jobs, in the IT world, that either the other employers didn't know. So maybe they want you in the office to prevent side hustles. Side hustles was a big thing 2 years ago. And it still is. People are still trying to find side hustles. But maybe companies that are paying you hourly, they want to make sure you're focused on one thing and not at home on your work computer and then on your side hustle computer making money on the side when that side hustle time could have been productive on your job at hand.
Right, because when you hire someone, you want them to be fully committed
Yeah.
to the job you hired them for.
Yeah, so pay them more so they don't need a side hustle.
Oh, that's a different argument. Because labor is expensive.
Yeah, labor's expensive, but I mean, these companies make so much money. Like, I was looking at some chart the other day about in 1950, Americans, wives could stay at home, husbands had middle class lifestyle, all with one job with only a high school degree. And right now, you need 2 people with college degrees to make it right now. Like here in Arizona, where we are in Chandler and Gilbert area.
Let's talk about that. What happened?
Exactly. Corporations got greedy and they're taking the percentage and they're acting like they're barely making it when they're making a ton of money. And you can tell by C-level, the CEO pay has gone up dramatically. CEOs in 1950 was barely more, was just, it was more than like the janitor, but it wasn't like 3 times. Now it's like 500 times. It's because they're making a ton of money. They got to catch up to their super yachts. They're competing with the other CEOs. It's crazy. And CEOs need to be, if the company doesn't make a profit, you shouldn't get paid. Maybe just a small salary, but you should not be getting bonuses. Right? I mean, how do you feel about CEOs making just a dramatic amount of money?
I think the CEO pay should only be increased if everyone else's pay is increased.
100%.
I'd say, sure, I mean, the CEO job is tough, but like if he wants a 5% increase, then everyone else should have a 1% across the board type of situation. Everyone should be going up, not only the CEO.
Depends what CEO. If you're a CEO of Verizon, right? You have all these C-suite people underneath you that are pumping you with ideas and their thoughts. How many times, like, a CEO has said, "What do okay, we should be getting more productivity. What's going on in your sectors? How can we get this going?" And he's going to ask his CTO, CFO, and then those people go into ask their management staff, how can we get more productivity, this and that. Then they go to the CEO, and CEO is basically the president, like the president of the United States. He's going to say, yes, we should do this or we should do that. So his job is not going to be as hard. Some CEO jobs are hard, but I think the CEOs that work smaller businesses, like a CEO that has 100 employees, right? That's harder because all your employees, and if you don't do good, your people don't do good, right?
And if your people don't do good, you're not going to do good.
Correct. But if you're at JP Morgan and you can have a loss because the government's going to bail you out, you're almost like so far ahead of the curve.
That's almost like another topic.
That's a different topic, but I'm saying that if you screw up, you're still getting paid. You're still getting that bonus. You can, and most of the times you write your own check. You can say, you know what,
No, they are writing their own check.
Yeah.
You're the CEO.
Oh yeah, they're CEO. I mean, yeah, right. They're writing their own checks. They're getting like, oh, we didn't make any money. We lost 90 billion, but you know what? I'm gonna give myself $1 billion.
Well, if they lose money, that's when they start cutting people off. They don't cut themselves.
No, they don't cut themselves or their pay. They cut staff, which is it's just the way it is, and it
Like,
sucks.
I'm not going to take the hit. Everyone else is going to take the hit.
Everyone, and it's not just
The
like
people who are making you the money are going to take the hit.
instead of CEO and CFOs and all them saying, you know what, maybe we shouldn't get a bonus. We already have fat checks. Let's keep our company whole and not fire people. Instead, you fired 300 people. That's 300 families you just affected, right? Those are 300 people are not going to have a good Christmas. 300 people that might have to go to food stamps. 300 people are on unemployment.
In addition, sometimes the company's stock goes up too after you made those layoffs.
We talked about that before. Stocks, that's crazy. It's almost like they want to fire people so their stock goes up so they could sell their shares of the stock and get even more money. It's just criminal. The whole system is criminal, but we can't do anything about it.
No, we can't do anything. But they're willing to fire these people, but rehire in another country for cheaper labor.
Yeah, and
the CEOs get richer.
Yeah, and I mean, how many companies have you called into on customer service and there's a guy from India pretending to be Joe? Hi, this is Joe. How can I help you? I'm like, fuck, you're not Joe. I know you're not Joe. And they're giving, and it's crazy because I kid you not, I know of a company, and it has to be across the board because they give them an English name. Their India service team had all their employees have their name, but they have a Josh, a David.
This is a repercussion of globalism, though. It's if we want to make all the trade with across countries. Now, when do we scale back to say, hey, we need to keep things domestic, in-house now?
It's too hard because, U.S. is at fault, the U.K. is at fault, France is at fault, Germany is at fault because they all go through these third parties. That's the only way to keep up because if the U.S. is getting it from China, the U.K. is like, well, we might as well use those sources in China as well. So we can keep our costs low as well.
And you're competing against competitors, and I get that too, right? Because if you're like, it's like saying Kmart was just trying to keep things only in the U.S. Well, Walmart just beat them because they outsource everything.
Yep.
And they cut costs wherever they can.
That's where Kmart went wrong. I think Kmart just...
Well, I wasn't sure if that was the reason why Kmart went out. I was just using them as an analogy.
I'm so gullible. I believed you, and I was going to tweet about it and everything, and now it's,
Well, I think Sears was more made in the U.S. because it had a lot of hardware stuff that was made in the U.S.
I feel bad, Sears. Those are all our childhood stores. They're gone. Those were the big stores, but
Well, what do you do in that situation? Like, okay, we can't bring the jobs back because there will be another opportunist company who's going to still hire for cheaper labor and get products cheaper in another country because we can't make them cheaper here. We can't get cheaper labor here. There's just no way.
Why don't we outsource it instead of China to Mexico?
And what difference does it make if it's China or Mexico, though? At this point,
the cost would be less because of travel. You throw it on a train and it's
here. I was
here.
to say it'd be less though, because no matter what, I mean, everything's coming in through a ship. You think that'd be expensive? It takes a lot of time.
Fossil fuel.
But maybe labor in Mexico is probably more expensive than China. Why do we keep making it in China?
Well, I think we should, and this is before you get crazy. Let me tell you why. I think we should do it with Mexico and have labor be a little bit more. But the repercussions or the positive thing out of that is we help build Mexico.
Sure.
We help it get financially on its feet, and they're an ally. They're a border country. We should be taking care of them. Figure a way to have a better relationship with Mexico. I don't think we have the best relationship with them. I really don't. I think they could join BRICS at any time. They're like super close. That happens, the U.S. is screwed. Not super financially, but they're screwed. You just had your neighbor join BRICS. I mean, if Canada joined BRICS, like, oh, see you later, you Canadians. But I think Mexico would be a bigger blow than Canada to join BRICS.
Sure. I mean, we still have the free trade North American agreement. I forgot the actual name of it, but it's still not taken to full advantage.
No, we don't. We don't do enough with. We do a lot with Canada, but we don't do enough with Mexico in my eyes. Is it because of the drug trade? Is it because do we look at Mexico as not reliant because they won't control their country? So we think, good luck with that. I mean, it's Americans that keep buying the drugs anyways. If you want to stop the drug trade, stop buying drugs.
That's not going to stop.
No, of course not. Like hallucinogens, stuff like that. Some people think it gets you into a different dimension and whatever, and But if you want to do drugs, do drugs. I don't care. God gave you free will. You can do it as long as it doesn't affect me. You can do it at home, just like drinking alcohol. What's the difference? Alcohol, like, you see how many belligerent people are out there. I was just out with some friends, and I just saw some people that are just super belligerent, and I'm thinking, what's the difference between doing that and drugs? Drugs at least would be mellow, and you'd be at your house, and you'd be just hanging out. There's so many people that drink and drive. You can't stop that. It's like, that's always just drove me crazy. Like these bars that sell alcohol, right? You're at a bar, you're buying beer, you're getting drunk.
You park your car at the parking lot there?
Yeah, and then the bartender, you want another one. Or you have and let's be honest, I've been guilty of this when I was younger. A hot waitress comes up, do you want another tall boy? Sure. And then you think, okay, that's all the alcohol I can drink. I can't drink anymore. And then she says, let me get you another one. Okay, yeah, sounds good. And, that one puts you over. You shouldn't be driving, but you think you're cool, and you get in and you drive. I'm guilty of that when I was younger, and thank God no one got killed or anything, but I wasn't super religious. But I've had a couple of drinks and I drove, and I thought to myself when I got home, I was like, I shouldn't have drove.
Sure, yeah.
I shouldn't have done that. And, luckily, knock on wood, nothing bad came of it. But
I'm sure you learned from that.
That's but bars, like, it's crazy with bars. Like, you're selling all this alcohol. This dude's drunk. He's getting in his car. So you're a culprit to him, whatever happens. It's almost like whatever happens, that blood is on that, like, say, Zips or Name New Yorker. Countless times.
They blame the restaurant, the bartender.
The
bartender should have cut him off.
Bartender needs to make money.
Yeah.
Bartender just sees dollar signs. He's like, okay, if I get another $10 drink at him, that's at least $1 tip. So if I get his buddies to do it too, that's another $1 tip, and my bill gets bigger and bigger.
And I can pay my bills.
And I can pay my bills. So society's all screwed up. I don't know where we went. We just went through everything.
Talking about, I think we can backtrack and talk about CEO pay.
Yeah, CEO pay.
I have this image up here that's talking about how CEO pay has grown 90 times faster than typical worker pay since 1978. So let me zoom in more on this graph.
Oh, that's a good graph. Yeah, there you go.
CEO pay right here. It really was like 1,250% in 2000, but it's still up there, like almost still 1,000%. This is the S&P, right? So it kind of follows the same trajectory. And this little line that doesn't really move is the typical worker pay.
Oh my gosh. There is something very wrong, right? See, that's exactly what we're talking about. I thought that was just a bottom line. But no, it's typical worker pay has only gone up. That's pathetic. That is so pathetic.
Well, I mean,
10% compared to 997%? Dude, that is pathetic.
So it's really hard to defend CEOs.
But it's not their fault at the same time, right? Some maybe.
Well, I mean, maybe people get addicted to that money, though.
No, it's also the power.
You feel good.
Power.
I'm worth this much. What are
you?
You
An ugly CEO can get laid way more times than me and you and our friends combined.
100%. I know that.
Money attracts, man. And it's not just money. It's the power. It's the title. Well, he's the CEO of, let's just throw something out there, Chase Bank. I don't know, Jamie Dimon, maybe not. Nothing against Jamie Dimon. I'm actually a fan of his. But I'm saying, like, a CEO commands power. And it has to go to your head. It has to. Power corrupts.
If you start hanging out with certain people, like wealthy people, I think people get a certain insecurity of like, oh, I'm worth $5 million. Well, this, Jimmy over here, CEO of this company, is worth $20 million. It's like, oh man,
$20 million. Like,
I need to do better than this guy. I need my balls to increase and feel better about myself, inflate my ego. What do I have to do? Like fire some guys?
They talk about this stuff when they hang out, when they're on their super yachts and stuff.
Oh yeah, I just cut off this many people, increase my stock, ha ha ha.
And there's CEOs that probably talk to each other. Hey man, how'd you do it last quarter? You guys did record numbers. Oh, I fired 2/3 of our staff. And you fired 2/3 of your staff? No. My managers fired 2/3. I don't have to go in the office. I'm the super powerful CEO. Power corrupts, man. I'm telling you, it's like just like the whole tragedy is true life story of Darth Vader. That's a true story.
Or basically what the premise of the movie is, The Lord of the Rings. Power corrupts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good analogy with the ring and stuff. Frodo was going down that path. You're right.
Power does corrupt and could be very strong. It's hard not to give into it.
It's 100%. I mean, think about it. Like,
Even the purest hearts of the hobbits has even struggled with it.
yeah.
I mean, I'm making my girlfriend watch those movies. She's dying. She's like, these movies are so long.
They are pretty long, man. You have to have a couple bathroom breaks in between. They're good movies.
Oh, I love them.
The Hobbit was
I was
good.
rewatching them. I was like, dang, I forgot how good these are. These are really good.
Not just that, the way they were filmed, right? And it was done in like 2000, I think. Late 90s, early 2000s.
No, it
Lord
was
of Rings? Lord of the Rings was 2000.
like 2004-ish, something like that.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. I could have sworn the first one was like 2002.
Somewhere in that ballpark area.
Somewhere in that ballpark. And
So
that
I
was
remember working at the movie theater, my first job.
yeah.
So I was like 16-ish, right? Just to show my age. But they're like 20-year-old movies now.
Yeah. Yeah, but they still hold up.
Oh, they absolutely hold up, too.
Yeah, I think they had Aragon wasn't supposed to be Nicolas Cage, and he turned it down.
Really?
He turned it down.
Really?
That would have made him, because he thought, I'm not doing this. This is before like all the remakes and book remakes were popular. This is when cinema was cinema and it was like original stuff. But yeah, he turned it down.
Ooh, I'm happy you did.
Yeah, I think the guy that did Aragon was awesome. I think all the casting was great. Great movie. Great movie. How did we get down to
movies, plural.
Well, now we're talking about movies. I mean, have you seen Blue Beetle yet?
Not yet, have you?
No, but it did horrible. But I heard everyone that's watched it said it was good.
That's true. Is it just superhero fatigue?
It could be superhero. I still think Marvel can put movies out and they'll sell. I think it's DC and anything. I think it's DC, period. DC puts something out and it sucks. Like,
Oh yeah, you're always rolling the dice when you watch a DC movie, unless it's a Batman movie.
Batman's the only DC that. Well, we'll find out when Aquaman comes out if that's the case.
Here's the thing: Watchmen didn't do good in box office, but apparently people loved it after
I love The Watchmen.
box office.
The
Yeah.
Watchmen's one of the best DC movies ever. Mm-hmm. Great story. It was ahead of its time.
Oh, well ahead of its time. Imagine having it out today. That exact same movie with
Especially
woke
with the
culture and cancel
premises. Yeah,
culture.
with the woke and cancel culture, it would be perfect for today, right? Mm-hmm. Like the whole lesbians getting killed in the very beginning and stuff. Like that was crazy. Like that would be more apparent today than it was when it came out. But that's one of my favorite all-time movies. Dr. Manhattan is one of my favorite characters.
I just love the quote, like, "What happened to the American dream?" It's like it came true, and it's just like, people just today's cancel culture or whatnot, and people are just always furious, just can't get enough. Like, I get it.
We're Americans. We're just greedy. Period. We think we're better than everyone. We have it wrong. 100% wrong.
No, I think that's our problems. Is greed is one of them. We have this weird sense of superiority.
Yep. But we're not. Anyways, what's next?
Well, I had on the agenda, if you want to talk about this, I could play the video about the alien bodies in Mexico.
Yeah, play it.
All right.
This is like crazy. I don't know if.
This is about 2 minutes long. Let me zoom in a little bit.
And I'll be honest, I do not believe.
So, for those of you who are unaware, apparently a Mexican journalist and a longtime UFO enthusiast recently came up with, found 2 tiny mummified bodies believed to be alien out of this planet. And this is recovered by Reuters on the 16th of September of 2023. Volume on this?
These 2 tiny mummified bodies, images of which were shared around the world this week, are now the subject of much controversy. For Jaime Maussan, a Mexican journalist and longtime UFO enthusiast, the alien-looking forms are among the most important discoveries in the history of humankind. But for many scientists, they are an already debunked, perhaps even criminal stunt. Maussan gained instant international attention when he stood before Mexico's Congress just days ago and presented the 2 figures. He shared scientific analysis and study results he argues prove the bodies are about 1,000 years old and not related to any known earthly species. Reuters gained exclusive access to his office to see them. The bodies appear ancient and share characteristics with humans. Maussan claims they were found around 2017 in Peru.
Porque es lo más importante que le ha pasado a la humanidad.
It is the most important thing that has happened to humanity because it's the opportunity for us to evolve, for us to grow, for us to maybe initiate communication with other intelligences. I think this phenomenon is the only one that gives us the opportunity to come together.
But the backlash from the scientific community came just as swiftly as Mason's newfound fame, with scientists and archaeologists in Peru calling the bodies a farce. Reuters correspondent Cassandra Garrison spoke to Mason about his research.
And he told me that the scientific analysis and data studies that he's been presenting this entire week actually were done on a different body that remains in Peru. And the two bodies that he presented here in Mexico, he's not done scientific analysis on, saying that he didn't want to damage the specimens.
Look like statues.
And I think that could potentially change the conversation. But we had scientists independently review the results who told us that they do not represent anything out of the ordinary and certainly indicate normal life on Earth.
Mason is no stranger to controversy, having participated in a 2017 documentary that appeared to feature doctored mummies. As to how these two bodies arrived in Mexico from Peru, that's a question Mason says he can't answer. According to him, a man brought the remains to the country and Mason asked permission to present them to Mexico's Congress. But the move has angered Peruvian officials, who have filed a criminal complaint against him. Mason says he's done nothing illegal and welcomes the Peruvian government to investigate the figures.
It's interesting, but I don't 100% think that's fake.
I'm starting to believe that's fake. And there's so many unanswered questions. How did he move it? He didn't answer it. He's a journalist, so he said he conducted scientific analysis.
So how much money is he going to make off of it, doing a book and doing all this stuff, right?
I think so. I think it's just a money grab stunt until...
Why was it, if they were found in 2017, why does it take this long to come out?
That too. I mean, why is it covered in dust? You think they'd just dust that off already?
100%. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, because did you see on the pillow, whatever it was, the case, that the dust was falling off?
Like, what is this about? Like, it looks like they just sprinkled it on there. Why is it in the case? Like, you think they would dust it off so they could further research it?
That's why I think it's fake. Mm-hmm. And why didn't they just drill a hole right through the chest to see what's in there? They have capability to see what's inside. Like,
not a drill, but inject like a small needle and be like, what's in here?
I mean, they can image it to see through.
X-ray, something,
and stuff.
Right? MRI scans.
I call BS.
I'm calling BS too. I'm with you on that. I mean, this was all over the internet. We've been seeing it everywhere. I'm like,
Okay, so they're showing us this. What's going on over here?
Well, it's just because it's an opportunity because UFOs are so big right now.
But they're not real.
All of them that's been out there?
Not the ones that recently. I think we, like Roswell, stuff like that. Yeah, it's real. We talked about, like, even the sighting in Vegas. That could be real.
I'm starting to think that's fake now.
Yeah, because, well, I don't know. I can't.
Remember, it was like, if it crashed because there was a sound of crash, where is the crash site?
Where is the crash, yeah.
All that was left is like perfect circle imprint. I was like, what?
Well, perfect imprint, circle imprint, what I would have questions about. Is that where it took off?
What, was it another ship that had to land, pick them up, and get the tourist out there?
How would that what if they were tourists?
That's what I'm saying. It's probably tourists from another planet or a future or something, you know?
They're busted. Oh, you almost got caught when people... Well, I think in that aspect, then we're just a zoo, like we talked about.
Yeah,
we are
safari
a zoo,
right?
and they were down here, and they got away from their safari. But it goes back to, like, the fourth dimension and stuff, right? Like, we can't see them because they're in a different dimension. Maybe they stepped out of that dimension by accident.
They have the capability of going between dimensions?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and they got caught. I don't know. They say
their ship malfunction.
Yeah, maybe their protective stuff on their suit malfunctioned, and we were able to see them instead of being camouflaged.
I mean, we looked over the videos and people saying like, you barely see this pixelated face. I'm like, I don't really see anything.
No,
I really don't see anything. It's not.
No, I call BS on that.
I call BS.
Yeah, it's BS. What's next?
And apparently that kid has his own YouTube video about UFOs and stuff.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should watch
it. So it kind of adds to it. I was like,
yeah,
how BS
interesting.
is this?
Opportunists. Oh, yeah, we talked about this. So this...
Oh, yeah.
Let's stay on
the
UFO
whole
thing.
thing reminded me of this, because remember this whole...
So fake. Look how creepy that is. Can you imagine if we saw that in real life?
This
With
was from
skin?
2018 about they solved the little alien. Turned out to be just a genetic defect of a small human. But this was going on for like ever though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember this little alien dude turned out not to be an alien. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
But
I'll let you talk about this.
it's been interesting. Okay. Let's talk about everyone's favorite topic about COVID because there's currently an uptick in COVID. So first one about this is also by Reuters. World Health Organization pushes China to help reveal the truth on the origins of COVID. It's fascinating that they're doing that, if that's true, because they really shut up about it when they talked about China. Anything China related, they just did not talk about it. Why are they doing it now? I don't know. There's a quote here that says, "We're pressing China to give full access, and we are asking countries to raise it during their bilateral meetings to urge Beijing to cooperate." WHO Director General Tedros, I can't pronounce his name. Thing is, like, who's to say China's going to cooperate? They never cooperate with anything.
They won't tell us the truth.
No.
Whatever they find out, they're not going to share.
They're under no obligation to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And when they were first pressed, they tried to blame it that it was a U.S. soldier anyway who was visiting China and they spread the virus.
Yeah.
So it's just, I highly doubt we're going to get accurate information.
We're never going to get the truth.
And it's going to be stating that it's not their fault anyway. Whatever they have, they're just going to blame on someone else.
Yeah, we're never going to find out the truth.
So
But the boosters are coming out, right?
yeah, boosters are coming out.
There you go.
I could tell you here. Let me pull this. So everyone hears about the boosters coming out. Oh, what happened here? Damn it, Yahoo! Barely click on your website. All right, so new boosters coming out.
Oh,
This was
new season of iCarly.
Uh,
Just kidding. I don't watch that.
gosh dang, you made me click on that.
Well, that's a good picture of the COVID-19.
So new boosters. They go. Who should get it?
Why would we call it COVID-19 if it's a new strand? Why would we call it COVID-22?
That's its origin.
That's the origin.
It keeps mutating, so it's just stepping back into its origins. But anyway, I can tell you that my sources, unfortunately I can't reveal them. Public health officials like CDC and whatnot, they're not talking about the booster. So it makes me believe that it's just a pharmaceutical push. Because the only people I see right now on TV are lobbyists for pharmaceuticals, right?
Yeah.
Saying, oh, new strands coming out. Here's another fear-mongering thing. And we got to urge Congress to buy this. So they provide for everyone free. And you see Biden out there urging people to buy it. But right now, okay, yes, technically it's true that there is an uptick in infections and hospital rates, but it's nowhere near what it was before, the last year, the 2 years before. And we've innovated to protect ourselves better with better immunity. We have treatment now. We have better methods of staying healthier now that resist against this variant. This variant is far weaker than other variants we've dealt with before, so we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, the public health officials I've been hearing from, they're not talking about it. No one's really talking about it. The only people talking about it is just the pharmaceuticals. And heard another push for mask mandates. No one's also talking about that in public health. So, from my experience, I think it's just another thing to tear us apart. Maybe it's just something to distract us again.
Yeah, I think it is. I just know too many of my friends that are like from, military background, this and that are right winged, or some that are even like not right wing, but they're, they have the whole like libertarian mindset. They don't want to be told what to do, right? They don't want, you gotta wear a mask. Why? I don't know.
If you're in the military, you're always told what to do.
Yeah, but right now, I don't know about you, but I've been going out to more and more stores and seeing, like, especially grocery stores, and seeing employees wearing masks.
Understood. I would say let them be them. As long as they're not pushing that agenda on you, it's fine.
Like, I don't care if you do.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, you shouldn't care if someone has a mask, but don't Don't be a jerk about it, and they won't be. As long as they're not a jerk to you, and you're not a jerk to them, it's fine.
You know what I hated is at the height of COVID when you were able to go back to like Fry's, they had these shields, and then you had the girl with the mask, and she's telling you, and you're like, what? And then she would get mad because you're asking what. But I was like, hey, understand there's a shield. Understand you're wearing a mask, and what you're telling me is muffled. And I'm being polite and saying, excuse me? And you're getting mad. I had that one time at Fry's. This grocery lady was pissed because I had to ask her, twice. And one time, three times what she asked, because she didn't say a dollar amount because I could see it on the register. She asked a question. I was like, excuse me? And she asked it again. And I was like, I can't hear you. And she goes, Arr! She said it louder. I'm like, there's a shield. And you're wearing a mask. And she goes, oh. And she put her mask down to tell me. I'm like, duh. But I don't know. I think the world went crazy for a minute. Hopefully we never have to do that again.
Well, the world didn't know how to react to this properly.
But there was so much conspiracy theories everywhere, left and right. And people, fear sells. No matter who you are, fear sells.
But there's different conspiracies. And then people have their bold conclusions. Mm-hmm. And then there's opportunists. Like not all doctors agree on anything anymore.
Correct, ever.
When one doctor has his professional opinion on something, there's going to be another doctor that says, no, we should not do that.
Correct.
There's always going to be a doctor who disagrees. And then you have this weird split of these people side with this doctor, these people side with that doctor, and we're always going to remain divided. There's nothing that's going to unify us. Anything, no matter what it is. So information like this about educating people about wearing a mask, people are going to automatically react to F you. Don't tell me what to do, and they're intentionally not going to do it.
But I did hate. I hate to say this because I always thought I always saw people driving their car wearing a mask. I'm like, why the hell are you wearing a mask?
You know what? I'll tell you this. I'm guilty of that not because I thought I was going to protect myself. I forget I have a mask on.
Okay, I can buy that.
And that probably could be it. It's not like as soon as I get in my car,
sometimes
I take off my mask. Yeah. It was probably me.
It was you that I saw. It's like that fucking guy.
Because sometimes I remember to take it off and put it in my pocket or whatever and start driving. But sometimes I forget that I have it on.
Yeah. And I feel like that cartoon from The Simpsons, the bully going, hey, hey. But I just hope, just if it comes back, just everyone do what is best for you and your family. Plain and simple. Don't be mad at your neighbor for having different views, because you're always going to have different views on everything. From sports teams to what cereal you eat, anything, right? So if it comes back, do what's best for you and your family. That's it. Don't tear someone down because they have different beliefs in you.
Well, the hard thing was you don't know who's infected, but you could be risking other people.
Correct.
With your behavior. And that's what the core thing that people did not like the most.
Yeah. For me, I would just stay home. If it got really bad, I would just stay home. I'm not going out anywhere. I'm not going to the gym because the gym, people are touching the weights and stuff like that. I'll just work out from home and I'll let it pass. And I'll order food from Fry's delivery or something like that. Well,
not everyone has that privilege.
I know if you live down the country and stuff, yeah, it would be hard.
Mm-hmm. Not everyone has a mobile service where they come to you. You still have to go to the store. And also the whole mask thing, it's not just COVID. It could be like maybe someone is sick with the flu, doesn't want to infect others, is being mindful, but like, I have to go to the grocery store to get my medicine, get my food, and leave. Please don't get mad at me. I could get you sick with this flu.
I think it's also fear. I do have a girl in my office that wears a mask all the time. And I asked her sister, why does your sister wear a mask? She doesn't want to get COVID. And I was like, oh, I understand. And I wanted to say, is it because she's fat? Because she's a big girl. Oh, I just realized that you're a subscriber. Shoot, sorry.
Well, what's the mask are they using?
They're wearing it all the time.
What type of mask though?
It's the blue one, the cheap one.
That won't prevent you from getting COVID though. You have to have like an N95 mask.
No, it's the cheap one. It's the cheap one.
It's okay.
She wears the cheap ones.
And it's unfortunate because you're still breathing in outside air. It's not being filtered through the mask.
It's the cheap one. You can blow out a candle and stuff. But I don't know.
Oh, well, if you could blow through it too?
Yeah, you're screwed. Yeah. You're screwed.
I thought it was like the surgical mask that you see doctors wear.
They're the cheapest of the cheap. They're the cheap ones that you can blow out. But
that's still unfortunate that education still has not come across. But the thing is, like, we are not capable of moving information quickly.
Yeah.
And as soon as there's updated information, people still hold on to the old information.
Yeah.
While there's other people who have the updated information, then you have this disconnect, and it just goes and spirals out of control.
What do you think of ivermectin? Joe
I don't
Rogan,
know,
when he
'cause-
came out with ivermectin, everyone like shit on him.
Sure.
Everybody.
Well, the thing is, there's so many tools we use to combat COVID. And maybe ivermectin works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not a specialist in treatment. Maybe it did work, maybe it didn't. Because what's unfortunate that our government push was like they made the vaccine like the one and be all. They didn't say it was like one of many tools.
Which was weird because there was nothing for prevention. There's nothing like, hey, if you're to help you start having vitamin C, zinc, all this stuff. There wasn't any push for that. It was take the vaccine.
Yeah, it was like take the vaccine, not like a better health, watch,
Correct.
eat healthier. But then when you start telling people to eat healthier, you're screwing with someone's business. You're screwing with someone's money. And then those people will have their own agenda to spread through social media about how everything's BS, continue eating, you're fine.
Yeah, eat the cheeseburger from McDonald's. Yeah, it's 50 cents tomorrow.
Yeah, because it feels like if they're telling me not to, like say I own Oreos, and then the government says, hey, don't eat sugary snacks like an Oreo, then I'd be mad because you're messing with my money. And then
So
I'm going to
much
make my
sugar.
own videos saying how the government's corrupt and how they screw up everything. And then you're in this weird spiral and people don't know what to believe.
True.
So we have the information about good health. Do people actually follow it? No, most Americans don't. Most of us are overweight. There's plenty of information out there that you can find about good, healthy lifestyles.
Yeah.
People aren't going to do it.
Our food sucks though now. There's so much like just people eat Cheez-Its and all these things that are bad for you. These carbs that just turns into fat. All this sugary
But
cereal.
carbs, they put so much preservatives in our carbs.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. The preservatives now, on the side of anything, is like, what is all this stuff? It's weird, right?
Yeah, you read the ingredients. I can't even pronounce most of this.
Yeah.
And why is it in my
there's a
food?
problem when you can't pronounce it. But so
And then, I'm sorry. I was going to add more to it. Like
No, go
that,
ahead.
in addition to like huge amounts of sugar, like
Yeah.
unnecessary amount of sugar.
did you see is it Dunkin' Donuts has a pumpkin latte? Have you seen that?
No, but it's that season, right? For pumpkin everything.
85 grams of sugar. That's more than a
How
dozen
much
donuts.
size?
That's more than a
dozen
dozen glazed donuts.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that is crazy. Like, that is diabetes, dude. Like, I
People
don't
drink that daily too.
Oh my god, these people. That's why we're the fattest country in the world. We
But
have
then,
an
like, if you were
abundance.
to educate people, don't drink that. Dunkin' Donuts will be pissed, and they're gonna have an agenda and be like, blah blah blah. They're trying to corrupt you.
But then again, it goes to free will. Like, hey, it tastes good. I know it's bad, but you know what? It's my right.
Sure, I'd say at least no mandates, but provide education. But then, if you provide the education, who's it coming from? Who are they saying? Then you're gonna have someone else counter it. So we're always gonna be screwed and divided.
Yeah.
So it's hard. But yeah, we know that this food is gonna give you diabetes.
And it's just that time of the year, like you said, pumpkin spice everything. Like, I had pumpkin spice in my coffee today.
Me too. It's actually a pretty good creamer.
You know, I mean, speaking of that, I mean, it's the holidays.
But honestly, do they really need to put 85 grams
No.
of sugar in that drink?
No.
What if they did 40? Would it be that much different?
I know. Well, sugar's like crack, so I wonder if they just try and get you sugar up
That's
to
the
come
thing,
back.
to come back, right? Because if you do 20 grams, the person next door is going to sell with 30 grams, and people are going to like that drink more, and they're going to go to them
Can
more.
you
It's like,
imagine,
I got to put more sugar in
like,
my
the
stuff.
crash from that drink?
Oh my god.
And you're like, I want more. I want more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's crazy. We'll watch that video. It's a dude that breaks down the pumpkin spice latte at Dunkin' Donuts and how bad that is, and he equates it to what it is. It's
If I look it up real quick.
it's a TikTok video.
You and your TikToks. Oh my god.
I think it's TikTok. I don't know. It was a short that I saw on YouTube, and then pumpkin spice short.
Latte sugar.
Oh, it's him right there. First one.
Right here?
Yeah.
All right, let me pull it up.
Let's pull up.
I want the audience to see. You and your TikToks, man. Tell me China see all your stuff? No, I don't know.
My friends, this is a pumpkin swirl frozen coffee. Who the
Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry.
thought it was a good idea to put this on the menu? Because this drink has 185 grams of sugar in here. How much is it? It's this much. It's 46 teaspoons of sugar. To give you another perspective, the amount of sugar in there is equal to 14 glazed donuts. Plus, there's no pumpkin in here. It's artificial flavors. There's 12 mentions of sugar and high fructose corn syrup in here. There's 930 calories and 194 carbs. 2/3 of us are already type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. If America runs on this, we're
That's the funniest thing I heard. If America runs on this, you're fucked. Wow, I was wrong on the sugar. 185 grams.
No, that was the carbs, right?
Sugar.
Oh no, sugar?
Yeah, and right in the beginning it tells you 185 grams of sugar.
Oh my god.
That's why I was like, shoot, that's 100 grams more than I thought.
That's so much sugar. Like, oh my
That's
goodness.
ridiculous.
'Cause we don't know how much sugar is tolerable, right? We don't know how much is.
We don't, but if you're pre-diabetic, like you said, or type 1 or whatever, you're screwed.
Well, that's an express.
Kids should not
lane
be
to it.
drinking that. Kids should not be drinking that. That's so bad for you.
And they think it's coffee when it's not. It's dessert.
It's dessert. It's freaking dessert. And I used to have that when I was younger, and I thought this was so good. And then you realize, holy cow, that's all sugar. It tastes good for a reason. It's a dessert drink and has a tiny bit of coffee or whatever. But yeah, you pulled that up pretty quick. That's the video I saw. That short. That I thought it was 85 grams, and that's bad. 185 grams is really bad.
Well, man, sugar is a legit drug.
Oh, 100% legit drug.
And it's the drug that we, just like any addict, we make excuses for.
Do you remember those commercials when we were kids? How pure cane sugar was better for you?
I don't remember that as kids.
It's like a Hawaii hula dress chick, and they were saying buy pure cane sugar.
I don't know if it's trademarked, but I want to make a soda that's called Pure Cocaine Sugar. Pure cane sugar, right?
Pure cane sugar.
I'm just trying to mix it to sound like cocaine.
Yeah,
But
there's liquid cocaine. There's a drink called cocaine.
because you know what? Although I don't drink, I'm not a big soda drinker, but I will have a Mexican Coke because they have the cane sugar. And I like that soda way more than the high fructose corn syrup sodas we have today.
And I think McDonald's has a special Coke formula. That Coke has for McDonald's it's a special formula for just them. Mm-hmm. Because I've heard it before. Go to McDonald's and have a Coke. It tastes way better than regular Coke that you get at the store. I don't know why, but their Coke tastes better. See, why does it taste so good? I don't know. I think there's something to do with it.
There are several reasons why Coca-Cola from McDonald's tastes so good. One, the water and Coca-Cola syrup are pre-chilled before entering the fountain dispensers. The ratio of syrup is set to allow for ice to melt. McDonald's filtration system is top tier, so the water is filtered before it is added to the soda fountain. The high turnover of ingredients in the soda machines means that they are refilled more often, so the soda is fresh and effervescent. McDonald's Coke is delivered in stainless steel containers to help preserve the ingredients and keep the Coke tasting fresher. So it just tastes fresher.
Yeah, it tastes good. It tastes good. I drink Coke Zero every once in a while. Like there's a party. Like last night we celebrated Mexican Independence Day, and I'll drink a Coke Zero. But that's a very every once in a while kind of thing.
I mean, what?
But before we jump into sports, but you were gonna say something.
Well, what? Okay, if they don't have sugar in the Coke Zero, what's the other ingredient that they're putting?
Some cancer-causing thing. I don't know.
No, what? But it makes me think.
Hopefully, it's not sucralose.
But what makes you think? In the long term, what's worse? Is it the sugar / high fructose corn syrup, or whatever the other? Was it aspartame that they put in?
Yeah, probably aspartame.
So what's worse in the long run?
We'll find out.
I mean,
there's two train of thoughts. I've seen people say it's worse. Some people say it's better.
Well, okay, who's saying it? Because it could be the aspartame people saying sugar's bad for you, and the sugar company saying aspartame's bad for you, and they're going to make their own videos, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
so
right.
And it adds to the confusion to the masses of like, I don't know which side to pick.
Correct. We don't know.
So it's
pick
your poison, right?
It's the holidays. What's the one thing that when the holidays come around, like a lot of people, pumpkin spice. What do you look forward to when the holidays hit?
Just family time, really.
I myself.
We're just talking about sugar.
Talk about sugar. This is my favorite all-time cereal. I love cereal. When I was a kid, I loved Count Chocula. It has like 12 grams of sugar per serving, and let's be honest, I have more than one serving when I have cereal. But this is every time I see this at the grocery store, I'm like a little kid again. It brings me back to the nostalgic days when I was a kid. Awesome cereal. This year, they have a new flavor. Carmella Creeper. So we're going to test these out. Got this for my daughter. So she's a zombie. So this one's pretty good. They have Frankenberry and Blueberry as well. But I'm telling you, Count Chocula, my all-time favorite cereal. It's legit. Go get it before they're gone.
Shout out to General Mills.
General Mills. Keeping up with my childhood, but Count Chocula is legit. We'll keep it right there.
We're not sponsored by them by any means.
Not sponsored by them, but I love
think when I edit this, I have to blur it out.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Well, we're not getting money from them.
Yeah.
So you blur it out because you're not getting money from them.
Yeah, we're not getting any money from them. We're not getting money, period. But anyways.
Otherwise, when we talk about sugar, we'd be like campaigning about how great sugar is for you. And
don't get sugar. Oh, only 12 grams. But, Count Chocula is legit. Speaking of cereal, what's your favorite cereal, Danny?
My favorite cereal of all time?
Yeah. What's your go-to? Like, if you're going to a grocery store and your girlfriend said, hey.
Grab whatever cereal.
What cereal do you want?
Probably Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay. Yeah, that's Cinnamon Toast Crunch legit. My favorite.
It's a lot of
after
sugar.
This one, God, it's a good question. I'm pretty basic. I like Cheerios. The original Cheerios is good. Honey Nut Cheerios is good.
Mm-hmm.
So those are kind of my favorite cereals. I used to like shredded wheat. Like the frosted shredded wheat was always good.
Oh, the frosted is the sugar. That's why.
Yeah, because of the sugar. But no, I'm real basic. I like Cheerios.
I like Frosted Flakes too, because of the sugar too.
Yeah, if you're going like the hardcore sugar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the ones that are good. I mean, Golden Grams, the Smacks, those were all good too. Honeycombs,
Yeah, Honeycombs is good.
Those are all good cereals. And Cuckoo for Cocoa Crisp or whatever. Lucky Charms or Fruit Loops. Those are all like staples. But I'm still like basic regular Cheerios or Honey Nut Cheerios. That's what when Cocoa Puffs aren't out, or Count Chocolate. But I buy like 20 boxes before the end of Halloween, so I can last a couple months after.
Well, what sucks with cereal, especially as an adult, one bowl of cereal is not satisfying enough.
I have like almost 2 servings.
Yeah.
On
the ingredients, the serving size is a cup. I was like, a bowl is not a cup.
Yeah.
A bowl is like what, 3 cups?
Yeah. It's
So I'm just going through like at least 2 bowls of cereal, if not 3.
Yeah.
But the more sugar, the more I want more.
Yep.
Yeah. Love me some cereal, but I've not had cereal in a while. But
all right, what's next?
should we get into sports now?
Yep. Let's conclude with all the sports that's going on. There's a lot.
Okay, so let's talk about baseball first.
Let's talk about what we said that could be a big thing in the future. I think it's the distant future. I don't think it's going to be like anytime soon. I think they're going to work on it soon, but I don't see this happening soon enough for me to enjoy. I think I'll be too old or gone.
Well, yeah. So what we're talking about is like the MLB virtual ballpark to host first regular season game. This is coming up September 20th. So
Sunday.
No.
Tuesday. I told you.
Wednesday.
I told you Wednesday. Did I say Sunday first? Oh, it's because today's Sunday.
Whatever. You're wrong either way.
Yeah. NFL.
So by the time this video drops, it'll be Tuesday.
So
I thought this was going to be like, oh, this will be on your 3D headset, like your Oculus or something, but it's not. You watch it on your TV, but going on the website, it says they recommend for best experience, use a desktop or laptop. For mobile access, use Safari with the up-to-date iOS. Or we recommend headphones or earbuds. It's like a 3D experience, so I don't know what's going on. Is it like, do you get to zoom in, move around?
We'll find out Wednesday.
We'll find out Wednesday, because I'm having a hard time trying to understand what they're trying to achieve here.
Well, we talked about before, like how cool would it be to have like your Oculus or your Quest 3 and be able to watch like a live sporting event. Can you imagine being able to watch like the Super Bowl or something and you're like right there in the third row and you're able to turn your head left, right, up, down, and it's like 3D right in front of you, like the players. That is going to be cool when we're at that capability. But it also, like, how much money are you going to make off of that? Like, as a company that does that, and the rights too. Can you imagine whatever company has the rights to do that? Like, you're gonna make a ton of money.
They had something like this with the metaverse. Like, I saw, like, it wasn't UFC, it was a mixed martial arts. I think it was one championship. You put on your headphones and it feels like you're right there in front row. You can look around, see what's going on. You see the fight in front of you, like almost like as if you were there. And I get what they're trying to do, and they could probably build on that and improve it. Now imagine doing that to like a baseball game or a football game. And the one thing they have to do is that, like, hey, if I'm at home and I want to watch it on my Oculus, and you're at home, you want to watch it at your Oculus, you both put it on, and we have to be able to interact and talk to each other. Like
That would be really cool.
Like you would at a ball game, like you can hear each other, but you still hear the
like,
ambient noises of the game.
Look at that. Yeah, that'd be really cool to be able to do that. I think, if you buy like a 4-ticket package, you and your friends, all four, you should be able to interact during the game. And see each other.
But be able to see each other and stuff.
That'd be crazy.
I don't think it'd be like your actual body. Maybe they can improve that, but it'd be like our avatars.
You'd be our avatars.
Right.
Maybe down the road they can do our facial reconstruction or something. I don't know. I think technology can move that fast.
But I worry about how much they're going to charge people for that.
Well, yeah.
Because baseball games, or sporting events, I should say rather, are expensive. You have to drive there. You have to buy the overpriced concession. That whole get there, just to have the little thrill of watching the game live.
Ooh, pros and cons.
Right, but just like watching on TV, sometimes I'd rather watch it on TV in my own environment.
Can you imagine though, like, there'll be more people watching it on TV than going to this sporting event, so then those people that sell the parking lot tickets, the concessions, all those people aren't making money. The stadium's not making revenue.
Yeah, there's a decrease in
it
stadium
should be
attendance.
blacked out unless it's sold out. Like, if the game's sold out, it'll be opened up on virtual, and then those are extra tickets, right? That way, people don't expect, I'm not going to the game because I can watch it from my headset. Game's not available because the game's not sold out. And sold out doesn't mean 100% everything's sold out. A lot of stadiums, they're like, if we are at 85% capacity or 90% capacity, that's sold out. That's their definition of sold out. So if you get to that point, then those virtual tickets should be open, because you can't open it just virtual before that happens. Because if you do, can you imagine the stadiums at 30% occupancy? So all those concessions, all that food's going to go to waste. All those parking.
Because they nickel and dime you when you go to these events, like parking fee, concession fees. Like,
it should still be an experience to go to those games. Like, Phoenix Suns games are so expensive. They're fun. Don't get me wrong.
They're really fun.
But they're super expensive. And if I'm in the lower level, awesome. Have such a better time. I don't like going up to the second level. It's just, I drove all the way up here for this. It's like watching ants. It sucks up there.
There's a point where, like, I'd rather watch this on TV.
I'd rather watch this at home TV.
So I have to make that long drive, stuck in traffic, in and coming out. The traffic coming out really sucks.
Traffic coming out sucks big time. But I love going to the games. So, like, I love going to baseball games. I like taking my kids. They love going to the concession stands and getting a $24 hot dog, and it's not really $24. It's super expensive.
Unnecessarily expensive either way.
Food. But they have, what's cool is the Diamondbacks have like a $5 hot dog. They have like this concession stand where like some of the stuff's cheaper. Like, you can get a drink and a hot dog for cheaper. But it's your basic Circle K hot dog for $5. But it's $5 compared to like the other stands where it's like $12 for a brat. And you're like, $12, come on. But it is what it is.
And there's still lines of people getting that brat for $12.
But going back to the whole virtual thing, how cool would it be though? Like, a Super Bowl ticket is $3,000. You can watch it from home for $300.
Right.
And it's not like watching it on TV. It's an experience. Like, I'm talking when the technology gets there.
The experience has to be there.
The experience of like seeing stuff, putting your hand up, you can see your hand. You can talk to your buddies. Like, holy cow, we're in section 100 of the Super Bowl.
And if it feels like that experience plus more, like, you could just pull up stats and it virtually shows up in the corner.
Yep.
You pull up all kinds of crazy stuff, right?
Yep. Stuff like that would be really cool. But it's just hard. I think even $300 for a ticket when you can watch it on TV
You're
for
gonna
free.
be the real NFT, a virtual autograph. Like, say your favorite player walks up, like say Patrick Mahomes walks up to you, like, but your virtual self, and it signs like a digital autograph for you.
That'd be interesting.
That's a real NFT
That'd be interesting.
because it's timestamped when he did it. You have evidence of when he did it.
Yeah.
Personally,
Interesting. I like that concept. I think that'd be kind of cool. There's just so much you can do with that. But back to the virtual thing is, you can buy that ticket, section 100, but there could be 100 people that bought that ticket, right? So then those leagues are making more money. It's just a way for them to make
then
more
you
money.
could probably move around virtually wherever you want to sit.
That'd be kind of cool. Hey, you got access to all these seats here because you bought this. Anything lower, or anything $50 and under, you can sit.
You'll always be in the
You can't
middle of
upgrade,
the line of
but you can
scrimmage.
go down.
You'll always be right there in the line of scrimmage
Yeah,
if you want, or you can move around in the stadium wherever you want. That'd be
or
cool
have
too.
different sectors of the stadium. Like your favorite player is like a right fielder, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sit over there by him.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to sit on the left side to see him hit.
You can watch the game. You can have like a little TV of what it looks live too of the game that they're broadcasting, and you like your peripheral vision.
There's so much that they can do with that. It's just like,
I wonder if the new Oculus will be like that though,
well, we'll see.
because you've seen the new Apple headset.
No.
Oh wow! I mean, it's a computer basically, but it's
I heard about it.
transparent, right?
Huh.
So you can see your surroundings. But it's like it's weird because it's more augmented reality, which you have the goggles on and then you see like the 3D images. But it's kind of trippy because they give them shadows and stuff, so there's a depth of field too and stuff. It's pretty good, and you control everything with your fingers instead of like a controller. So the future's now.
Well, yeah, it's just so crazy. It's crazy.
Let's see. Anything more on baseball? Like, do you want to talk about playoffs?
Yeah, let's talk about. We got to talk about the Diamondbacks, and they're tied right now for the last spot with Cincinnati on the wild card. They got the Cubs, which is they're only a half game behind them. That's a big series, man. Cincinnati has the Mets; they can win that. It's going to go down to the wire. It's going to go down to the last day.
There's about 3 weeks left.
And
of baseball.
it could be a 1-game playoff to get into the playoffs. Miami's only half game out. There's a legit 3-team race for that last. And San Francisco could go on a roll. They're only 2.5 out. So 1, 2, 3. There's 4 teams fighting for that last spot.
Wow. Yeah.
And they're all pretty even. Look, the last 10 games, Arizona, Cincinnati are 6-4. Miami, San Fran have been 5-5. Dude, San Francisco lost 3 in a row. And the other 3 have won 2 in a row. So San Fran fell off. They legitimately went from half a game to 2.5 games.
Oh wow, Cubs are on a 4-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, they are 3-7. It's gonna come down to the wire, and we got 2 weeks left. Like you said, it's gonna be a quick 2 weeks.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I think Corbin Carroll he still could be the rookie of the year. I think he'll get it, but we'll see.
All right. Anything else about baseball?
No, that's it. Go Diamondbacks.
So football.
Oh, prediction time. We're gonna start doing predictions, and we're gonna do, since week 2. I already put out the week 2 predictions on a short, but for the video, we're gonna start doing a week ahead because obviously, it's gonna come out right before. Let's go down it together. And you'll get your point of view. I'll get my point of view. But Thursday night game, Giants 49ers. Actually, that should be a pretty good game. I mean, to watch.
Well, Giants debut. They got.
No, I didn't say they're
against
going to win.
Dallas.
I want to see the 49ers pound them.
I think the 49ers will pound them. I don't think it'll be a close game. I think they're just going to pound them.
Brock Purdy.
And
Brock Purdy.
So yeah, I think that Prime. It's going to be only on Prime
Yeah.
for Thursday. Really?
Yeah. We have
Wow.
Prime, so if you
I mean, I know we have Prime, but that sucks for people who don't have Prime.
yeah, it does suck if you don't have Prime.
I just
I didn't
hate
know that. I thought it was like on ESPN or something. That kind of sucks though. You have to get Prime or go to a bar to watch that game.
I just hate that, man. We talked about this a lot. It's just like I
Yeah.
want to be able to watch my sports on free TV and leave me alone. Don't
like
make me
the
buy these
Diamondbacks.
damn packages, man.
Yeah, don't put it on cable. So we both in agreement. Niners win that.
Yeah.
Oh, easy. All right, going to the Sunday games. First one up, Colts at Ravens. I gotta give it to the Ravens. They're running back. They're starting running backs out for the year, but I still think they're better than Baltimore.
It's going to be a close game, but yeah.
I mean, Baltimore's better than close. I was thinking Baltimore Colts.
I think Ravens will win it, but I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything.
No, it won't be a blowout. But I don't think it's going to be super close either. Maybe by 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Ravens. Titans at Browns. That week 1 Browns game, well, they look good. You know, they play Pittsburgh this week.
But Titans weren't that bad, though.
The who?
Titans?
They're not that bad, but I still think Cleveland wins.
Yeah, I think Cleveland wins.
And it's at home, the dog pound. I got to give it to Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, at Cleveland. Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll do that. Both agree, Cleveland. All right, then Atlanta and Detroit.
Dude, Atlanta has that running back that played here in Saguaro, Beyond Johnson.
That's their recent pickup, right? The rookie?
That's the running back. He's a stud. But, dude, I believe in Goff, man, with the Lions. So I think the Lions win that game. They're at home. I got to give it to the Lions. It's close, but it'll be a super close game. I could be wrong.
I think it'll be a close game. That's why I'm like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think Atlanta might squeeze that one in. Probably by no more than a touchdown.
Yeah, it'll be close. I can almost agree with that, but I'll go with Detroit.
Okay.
Saints at Packers. I already know who you're going to pick. I'm going to go Derek Carr in the Saints because it's Derek Carr.
I think I just can't help it but that Green Bay Week 1 performance. They're so dominating.
They look good, yeah. They look good. But
like, they fooled me. I didn't know they were going to be that good. Unless they could keep it up. Unless it was a fluke. I mean, football.
Yeah.
That's just football, right?
That is football.
But I'll go with the Packers. Next one is Texans and Jaguars.
I got to go Jags.
I'm going Jags. Texans still suck.
They suck horrible. And we need them to suck so the Cardinals can get a high pick.
Well, here's the thing. Isn't that the Jaguars, aren't they supposed to be the other team that's trying to tank?
No, they're not trying to tank.
Who are there's like 3 teams that are trying to tank.
They have Trevor Lawrence on their team.
I'm trying to remember who are the 3 teams. It was the Cardinals, the Texans, and one other team.
No, Texas can't.
I think it was was it the Panthers?
Texans can't tank because the Cardinals own that pick. It doesn't. They if they tank, they're just helping the Cardinals.
That's true.
So,
I think there was like another team I'm thinking of that's like
what, the Commanders maybe, because they need a quarterback and no other.
Yeah, but they just beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, barely too, but barely. They dude, and that was a horrible Cardinals team that. Let's be honest, that they did really bad.
Their offense is atrocious. But their defense wasn't that bad.
Defense wasn't that bad. That's the only way they scored a touchdown was their defense. But the Commanders looked horrible.
Commanders were really bad.
Super horrible.
I didn't know they were that because they were like halfway decent.
I didn't think they were that. Oh, the Bears are another team that they're not trying to tank. They're just gonna tank.
They're not trying to tank. They
just are tanking. Did you see Week 1 Bears game was horrible? They look like trash. They look like trash. But anyways, Broncos, Dolphins. I hate the Denver Broncos, but they're going to lose. Russell Wilson's not Russell Wilson. I think Seattle, they knew what was happening. They got rid of a guy a year early, and it turned out to be right on time. They thought
Dolphins do look like they are on fire a little
Dolphins are going to win. Dolphins, I think, are going to win. Dolphins are going to be good. They look good. Tua's good. Tua has a ton of weapons. Dolphins have a ton of weapons. They're a good young team. And if they don't do it, they got to rethink about their life.
All right, we'll both agree Dolphins.
Yep.
Chargers and Vikings.
Vikings looked good, but I still think the Chargers are going to win that game. Justin Herbert's a stud, and they have good running backs and receivers. He has weapons. So does Minnesota, and it's at home, so that's a tough game, man.
Tough game, but Vikings disappointed me twice. I thought they were going to win their first 2 games.
They weren't going to beat Philly, so.
You don't think they can beat Chargers?
They can beat the Chargers, but it's Minnesota.
Yeah, no, right. That's a good answer. It's Minnesota. Ah, dang. I'll say.
You know what? I'll go Vikings.
You'll go Vikings. I'll go Chargers.
I'll go Vikings. Patriots at Jets. Patriots. Jets season's over.
They somehow got a win.
They got a win, but it's over.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots. All right, Bills and Commanders. I'm going Bills.
Oh, 100%. Commanders, I think, are going to be the second worst team in the NFL.
Hey, they're starting off strong with undefeated record at 1-0.
Second or third? I'm hoping third because that way Texans are the second worst.
Next is Panthers and Seahawks.
Seattle. Seahawks win that game. I don't think Bryce Young or their Panthers quarterback's good enough yet to beat Seattle. It's at home. Metcalf's a beast. Their defense is good. Not great, but good.
You make a lot of good points. I will probably say Seahawks as well.
Yep.
Cowboys at Cardinals. I'm saying Cowboys.
Cardinals.
You're going to go Cardinals?
Of course not. Dude, it's the Cowboys. It's going to be a Cowboys home game. You know how much blue is going to be there?
It's at the Cardinals game.
No, it's going to be a Cowboys home game.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I see what you're getting at, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a Cowboys-Cardinals game once. I was shocked. Not shocked, but surprised. I felt it was 90-10 Cowboys fans.
At the Arizona Cardinals Stadium?
It was so much blue. I was like, holy cow. The only thing red is the concession stands and the posters because it was crazy blue. A lot of Cowboys fans. So 100% Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, this could be their year. I really do. I think Dak might put it together.
Is it because of how well they dominated the Giants?
Yeah. Well, let's hope that's not a fluke and the Giants suck, right? Then that'd be a different story. Let's hope no one gets injured. You know, CeCe Lamb is a stud. Their new tight end, the rookie tight end, the Cowboys have a stud. They're a good team. Troy Pollard's a stud. They have a good team, good defense, good line. They have it together this year. You know, I think they're gonna do well. They're my favorite to win the NFC this year.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I think they can do it. I think they can beat San Fran. I think they could beat Philly.
Good statement. All right, Cowboys. Right. Next is Bears and Chiefs.
Chiefs. Blowout.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. Oh, bless you. Chiefs by the Bears suck, dude. They're so bad. How are you so bad for decades? When's the last time they were good? Walter Payton?
I don't know.
Like, they have been so bad for so long. And week one, I was like, oh, this is going to be their year. I feel bad for Bears fans. Like, I see them at the gym and out wearing their Bear stuff. Like, you go to Fry's or Albertsons down the street right before the game Sunday, there's a lot of Bear fans out in Arizona. I'm like, God, I'd be embarrassed. Why are you wearing that? Like, I'm sorry for you. No, Chiefs are going to crush them. They have Kelsey back. They have a full. They're going to crush them.
Yeah, I intentionally did not pick anyone from the Bears on my fantasy draft. I was like,
I did like an idiot.
I see Bears. No, I'm not doing it. Next is Steelers at Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah, Steelers.
They looked bad first game. Kenny Pickett might not be their answer.
I was shocked about how they didn't look that good for Steelers. That's always been a good organization.
I love their running back. Maybe they get it together. I don't know. Week 2, you know, today's game, we'll see what happens. They play the Browns today, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, I picked the Raiders. It's in Vegas. It's at the Death Star. That's my team. That's a big game.
Next, we have Monday night games. There's 2 of them, an hour apart from each other for whatever reason.
Which is crazy, right? That's weird.
You have to flip between 2 teams. Great.
Wait, one's ESPN Plus or ABC, and the other one's ESPN.
Oh, thanks, dude.
So yeah, we're gonna be flipping TVs, which could be cool, whatever. But usually they should have had an East Coast West Coast series like they normally do.
I did see your YouTube TV there's a channel that has both games. So this splits your TV for you.
Splits your TV,
that was pretty cool.
And then you could watch 4 games at a time.
I saw that.
And you could pick different 4 games, which was kind of cool.
That was cool. I like that. Yeah. Well, okay. So anyway, Eagles at Buccaneers.
Eagles.
They look good.
They are good. They're gonna do well. I think the Eagles, but I think they're gonna have a Super Bowl hangover. I don't think they're not hungry anymore, right? You're not hungry anymore. You're just just getting through class, breezing with a B, instead of
Your quote sounds very familiar with Deion Sanders.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he doesn't want to coach NFL because they're all rich men. They're not hungry. College players, you're hungry because you're trying to get to the NFL. Right,
Deion Sanders. So I always argue that college is more exciting than NFL.
We'll talk about that after our predictions.
Yeah, let me jump back then.
Just jump back in our predictions. Let's finish this off. So back to the Eagles. I think they have a Super Bowl hangover. They're not hungry. You're just not hungry when you're the champ. It happens in boxing. It happens in a lot of.
So you picking Buccaneers for this game?
No, I still think the Eagles. No, I'm talking like win it all. I still think the Eagles beat the Bucs because the Bucs roster is not as strong as the Eagles. Who you got?
Eagles for sure. They're good.
And then last but not least, Rams at Bengals. I think the Rams are horrible. I just don't think they're good this year. I think Stafford's declining. I think their receivers are young. They have good receivers. They have great running backs, but Their defense isn't what it used to be. They're older. The Bengals are young, studly offense, good defense. I think the Bengals win that. It's at home.
I think Bengals won it too.
If it was in LA, I'd still say Cincinnati though. I think Cincinnati would win. But anyways, that's all our predictions for this week for NFL. Let's go back to Deion Sanders, and then we'll talk more about
let me
that.
slide in one thing. I'm still betting against. I told on the podcast, I'm betting against the Cardinals every game.
$5,000 at a time. Just kidding.
No, it's actually $50 a game. I won week 1. Well, I bet against the Cardinals, and I won the bet. Unfortunately, I was actually rooting for the Cardinals to win because I don't mind paying $50 a week for a Cardinals win because I thought I was that bad luck of a better. Maybe I'll be average because they're going against Giants. That's a possibility for a win for how bad the Giants look against Dallas.
I think the Giants win. The Cardinals can't score touchdowns on offense.
Yeah, maybe it's a wake up call for the Giants.
And they just got shut out. The Giants are
plus it's a rival game, right?
Yeah,
rival games are
the
super
Giants are
unpredictable.
going to beat the crap out of them. Mm-hmm. They're going to beat the crap out of them.
It might be I think close game.
It'll be close if the Giants don't score touchdowns.
I think they'll struggle scoring against the Cardinals defense.
Yeah, their defense is good. But when your defense is out there majority of the game, you're going to get tired at the end.
But you're right about the Cardinals. They can't score on their own. Their offense is atrocious.
But that's what I mean. If your defense is out 75% of the time on the field, they're going to get tired at the end.
Sure.
And then the Giants being – I just think the Giants are going to beat them by double digits.
At Arizona?
At Arizona.
All right. Double-digit win? So 10+? Ooh.
10+. That's just my –
How far would you stretch that? Would you say 13+?
No, because I could see it being – I think it's going to be over a touchdown and a field goal. It's going to be a 2-possession win for them.
Okay.
So they can win by 11 or something. I just don't think Arizona's going to score touchdowns. They'll kick field goals maybe, but they won't find themselves in the end zone.
I was going to have a graphic, but I totally forgot about it. So when I bet against the Cardinals and the Cardinals lost, for my $50 bet, I got $16 and some change.
Wow.
So I'm up $16 and some change.
Okay.
So we'll see what I report back next week. So back to Deion Sanders, as we segue to college football. So he coaching NFL, he just has no desire to coach rich men, and I get what he's saying.
Oh, this was before he went to Colorado too.
Mm-hmm. And I get it because, hey, they just NFL. You have players who they make their money and they're like, I don't care about a Super Bowl anymore. I don't care about having to work for a contract anymore. I'm comfortable now.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. You're comfortable. You sign a big contract. You're like, I'll take a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that.
I mean, what more would you say about that?
He's right. You know, these guys make too much money. Not too much. They don't want to get hurt. There's too much precaution if you're already in the pros and you're making a ton of money, or you're playing for your next contract. You're not going to give it your all because you don't want to get hurt in some aspects.
I know, but there's also that
the college. There's no like. You ever watch the college football movie, The Program?
No.
Oh, great movie. You gotta watch it. They show these defensive linebackers on there, and they'll do anything. They play for every play. They play at 100% because they want to get to the NFL. So that's going to be pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now we're looking at Coach Prime is a stud, and I want to talk more about. Did you see the Colorado game? Do you know
I didn't
about
see it, but I heard what happened.
Like, do you know about the rivalry? What happened before the game? That's why it was such a highly anticipated game. You know, The Rock was there, a bunch of rappers. There was a lot of people at that game. Colorado State coach took a jab at Deion Sanders.
I've heard about the jab.
Okay,
because there's mothers involved and stuff, right?
There's something. There's some jabs thrown. He said, "Oh, I'm a grown man. I I'll take my hat and my glasses off if I shake a man's hand or something like that. I can't remember the jab 100%, but it pissed Deion Sanders off. He gave his whole team, signature sunglasses, and there are a lot of people in the stands wearing the sunglasses. That's his, Deion Sanders' signature move, whatever. There's pregame a lot of talk. The players were almost going to fight in the pregame on the field, right? There's a lot. There was a cheap shot in the game. The guy should have been ejected from the game. And then a couple plays later, that guy that should have got ejected got an interception. So that could change the whole game, right? For Colorado State. That guy took a cheap shot to the star receiver of Colorado. We'll see the cheap shot after this. I'm telling you, it's ugly. There's no way you did not see the ball. The ball was right in front of you. You should stop. And instead, you went ahead and took a shot at the number one receiver for Colorado. It was bad. It got bad where, Deion Sanders' son, the one that plays cornerback, got in the guy's face right away. Another one was Deion Sanders' son got an interception at pick 6. It's freaking cool.
Really?
It was really cool. It was amazing. It's cool to see stuff like that. His son wears 21 like his dad. So it's really cool to see that. And, dude, the whole college.
Should we just watch the highlight?
Yeah.
It's like 3 minutes long.
Let's put the highlights on because I'm telling you, that was a great game to watch. I really enjoyed watching it. It lived up to the hype. So go ahead and play it real quick. If you didn't watch it, you missed out on a great game. I'm telling you, Colorado's fun to watch,
I didn't
man.
really see it.
Colorado's fun to watch. I'm rooting for them.
All right, let's put this highlight up.
I'm going to have a Colorado hat soon. Right there. There it is. I think it was 80 yards. Look at that.
Late hit. Shiloh Sanders. Wait, how many? Does he have both sons playing?
Yeah, his
I only heard about his quarterback son.
his son's the other one's a quarterback. Where's number 2? There's Offset.
So he has a cornerback son?
Yeah, cornerback and quarterback. Right there, Colorado should have got that ball.
That has really caught the attention of the entire country.
Colorado was up big for a minute.
Trying to flip the script.
Fumble. Look at that.
Another fumble?
Yeah. Turnovers. Look, they would have scored.
Sanders with a huge crushing hit.
His son. Look at this. Deion's son.
He's a cornerback, right?
Beast. Yeah, cornerback.
Just like his dad?
Yeah, he's a beast. He's good.
And if you only one tonight from 52, which is a
Boom, blocked.
Oof.
And it dribbles harmlessly into the end zone. Nicolosi into traffic and picked off.
Interception, Colorado.
And his helmet came off.
Came out of the crowd with it. All you're doing
There's his other son.
Grass and finding open holes. Sanders drills it again, complete to his tight end, Harrison. First and goal, Colorado. They run it.
Look at that hole.
Ow.
Burst of speed, got the first down to the 33.
Those of you listening, I urge you to watch this part, or at least the highlight.
And that's clean. Got it.
So they're losing.
So fourth, 46 seconds left of the game.
Sanders.
Colorado's losing to Colorado State by 8 points, 28-20. Deep ball.
Touchdown.
Gets the touchdown.
2-point conversion. They have to go 2 points.
So they have to go 2 points, 28-26. 2-point conversion. Pass right in the middle. Caught.
This tight end. That kid's a stud. That tight end had a great game.
To the tight end.
He's good.
So the game's tied, 28-28.
Empty, 5 receivers.
Overtime.
It's overtime. Colorado ball. Looking for a guy in the field.
Pulls.
There you go. Tight end again.
Tight end again, yeah.
This offensive line continues to try and protect better and better here in the second
35-35 overtime. Second overtime.
Open. There he
Finds
is
his tight end
Tight
again.
end. Yeah, dude,
Touchdown.
this dude's a stud. And they went for 2.
They went for a 2-point conversion on this. Gets it.
Weaver this time.
What a game, man. I'm telling you, that was... I watched the...
Now Colorado State has the ball.
Into the end
Deep
zone.
ball to the end zone. Gets picked. Game's over.
Over.
Picked off by Woods, and it's over.
Yeah.
What an amazing game.
It was, dude. It was awesome. The highlights are cool. The game, watching it live, was awesome.
I'm trying to find that cheap shot.
Try to find the cheap shot, because I'm telling you, that was horrible. That he should have been ejected from the game. It was horrible. Cheap shot. There you go. It should. Yep, there it is. Just pop it up. Blow that puppy up. Watch this.
And just executing sound fundamentals. Got to look at Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator. Moment ago, downfield. Incomplete, but a flag
He's going to miss 2 games
because
of this injury. Hunter,
who took a shot afterwards.
It was Deion Sanders' son
by Henry Blackburn. And now some words, Shadur Sanders coming to the aid of his number 1 target there. Yeah, look, I'll tell you, as a former safety, that's a very dumb play on the part of Henry Blackburn. I understand you may be trying to send a message.
If they show it in slow-mo, man, dude,
the ball
watch
had
this.
already hit the ground.
Yeah,
see number 11.
He saw the ball. Look where the ball is, right in front of him.
To catching the
He
football.
goes around, he hits him. That's a
down,
bad cheap shot, right in the ribs.
Over.
The receiver doesn't see the safety.
Penalty.
He just
That
sees the corner.
makes no sense.
He lets off. He's not
football.
guarded because he's like, okay,
I
plays
understand
over.
this is a
Plays
rivalry
over.
and you're hyped up,
If you've
but
ever
you're
played
up.
football
You're up
before,
playing
you know as a
touchdown. You guys are
receiver,
playing good
the play's
football.
over. You're not playing hard. You're not guarded. Right?
Pass interference. Defense number 11.
He should have been kicked out.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 15 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He should have been kicked out of that. Number 11 right there. That guy should have been kicked out. He knew what he was doing because the rivalry is so big.
Well, they got penalized for it, but the penalty is not enough.
That's not enough. Especially when that was an ugly play.
Especially when there's an injury, because you said the guy's out now.
He's out for the next 2 games, and they have 2 big games coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number 1 receiver for the team.
Right.
So it really sucks. So it is what it is, man. It sucks. You can't go back in time. But it was the best game of the weekend, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had, Georgia versus South Carolina, where that kid from Arizona plays. Went to Saguaro, I think. He was on that Netflix show, something called Quarterback. So that was pretty good.
Yeah. But college football overall, though, there's been some fascinating games. Unfortunately, for my Arizona State sucks.
Tennessee and Florida is the game before the Colorado game I watched. That was a good game. It was an upset because Tennessee was favored. It sucks for them to lose like that, but it is what it is.
Just pull up the ESPN website so people can see what I'm looking at. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, perfect.
The Georgia game was awesome because it sucks because South Carolina was up. They were up 14-3 at halftime, and then just Spencer Rattler's the kid from Arizona. He's a stud. He's gonna be good.
And then Michigan dominated, right?
Yeah, Texas is gonna be good this year. Watch.
Florida State barely
won against Boston College. Yeah, that's a rivalry game too. It's interdivision. Ohio State creamed them. Penn State beat Illinois. No big deal. Wow, Michigan State. Notre Dame, Central, that doesn't matter. Alabama barely beat South Florida. They should have crushed South Florida.
I wouldn't say that it's barely.
So,
2 possessions.
They were favored to crush them.
I mean, South Florida got first blood, but besides that. Tennessee lost to Florida. That was the upset.
Yeah, that was the upset I was watching. That was bad.
Mm-hmm. Utah beat Weber State, of course. Weber is not a natural state. I don't know why they call it Weber State. I don't know why some of these universities are called state, named after something that's not a state, but I'll hold that opinion. Oregon beat the crap out of Hawaii, unfortunately.
LSU over Mississippi State.
Oh, here's a good one. Missouri barely beats Kansas State.
Yeah, Kansas. Well, that's Kansas State's not ranked anymore after that, maybe.
Really? They could be like 25,
20-something,
24.
maybe, yeah.
Because it stops off after 25, right?
Yeah, 25. Oregon State beat San Diego State.
Okay.
Ole Miss over Georgia Tech. Colorado versus Colorado State.
Oklahoma.
Tulsa.
Decimated Tulsa.
No one cares. Minnesota versus North Carolina. No one cares. Duke Northwestern. No one cares.
Northwestern's like this dry university. I've been up there.
Yeah, it's all right. Washington State. That's a big win for them.
Northern Colorado.
I mean, they're 3-0. I can't remember last time Washington State was 3-0. UCLA crushed and Iowa crushed.
They don't even bother showing Arizona State anymore. That's
Who?
hilarious. Arizona, yeah, I
'cause
know,
they're
right?
horrible.
Who?
Who?
That's a
Yeah.
university.
You
God.
can go to Pac-12 scores because this is the last year of the Pac-12 as we know it. Where it says top 25, you can hit that. It says college football scoreboard and then top 25. You can go down to Pac-12.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking at. Top 25, yeah. So right there, Fresno State is annihilated.
29. Oh, at home they lose to Fresno State.
And no, you go to the. I was thinking about going to an ASU game this year. I was like, oof,
never.
They kind of suck right now.
They're fun. I would go when it gets colder. It's kind of cool. Take a hoodie.
Tickets are not that expensive either compared to like a pro game, right?
Yeah. They're fun.
I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't want to go to a Cardinals game this year. Why watch a slaughter?
Yeah, exactly.
Why drive on the opposite side of Phoenix Metro?
Yeah.
Like an hour drive each way, stuck in traffic, buy an expensive, overpriced concession to watch the slaughter. Not for me. And everything else we just saw for Pac-12.
Yep.
Except
U of A beat UTEP. Sacramento State beat Stanford. Okay. That's not good. Because those are the games that Sanford Sans, they sign up for thinking they're going to get a win.
Right.
Yeah, you just lost. They pay Sacramento State to come and get beat up. And instead, they just lost. Just like ASU getting Fresno State. Hey, come on down so we can get a win. No.
Yeah, I know.
You just got pounded.
So that's it for college and any other topics.
No. I know WNBA have their playoffs right now.
Should we look at that?
Yeah, we can look at that real quick. We got time.
WNBA. This is the part where we start losing our audience, but that's okay.
Please stay on. WNBA is not bad. I'm a believer now.
You're really a believer, or you just?
I'm just saying that to get likes.
Here's the standing bracket coming up.
The thing is, the Mercury are done, so I'm not that into it.
Vegas is great.
Vegas is good.
Vegas is a good team.
Chicago Sky is a good team too, though. New York Liberty's good. I think they're gonna win it all. They got some players on that team.
Where's the other side of this bracket?
That is the only bracket.
Oh yeah, that's
because it's it's the WNBA.
Yeah. Never mind. I had it confused with like how other brackets work. Got it. It's only the top 8 teams.
Because there's only 10 teams, I think.
I mean, this game's on right now. Minnesota Lynx.
No one cares.
Yep, no one really cares. But ultimately, just to wrap this conversation up, do you think it's going to be New York Liberty takes it all?
New York Liberty versus Vegas would be actually pretty good, and I'm going to watch it. Just because I think I like watching New York Liberty. They have some good players on their team, and watching Vegas, they have good players too. That to me, that'd be for me the best outcome for the WNBA for me to as a fan to watch. Those are the two teams that I think are the best two teams. Yeah, they're ranked 1 and 2. So yeah, they're the best teams for the championship. That starts October 8th.
And what else? We got Well, speaking of basketball, I mean, regular NBA starting real soon.
It should, yeah.
So it starts
in October, right?
October, yep. I'm probably gonna miss the first game though, unfortunately, because I'll be out of the country. But I think I'm hopeful for the Suns.
I'm very hopeful for the Suns.
I'm just curious of how they're gonna work things. They have Bobo. I hope he does great.
He'll do fine. Bogo's a good coach, and Suns have a owner that's gonna spend money, so they're fine.
All right, should we wrap it up? Anything else we want to talk about?
That's it.
All right.
That is it. And then next week, are you in Bali?
No, I go 2 weeks from now, so we'll be able to do an episode next week.
Fantastic.
We can't do one the 1st and 8th, so
we'll take a vacation.
And
I won't be here on the 15th.
You won't be here on the 15th?
No, I'll be in Utah.
So our only episode really for October will be the 22nd.
Yep, because you're in somewhere on the 29th.
Yeah. Back to out of state for another job.
Yep. So. For the job.
Yep. All right. Other than that, subscribe, comment, all that fun jazz. Troll.
Stay with the community.
But you'll keep up to date with like reels.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
stuff,
start doing more reels and shorts. Danny's gonna be out of town, but I'm gonna do the predictions of who I think is gonna win on game day, and I'm gonna do that for college too because there's some big college games coming up, so I'm gonna be able to do that, and then baseball. So I'll do some stuff on the shorts and the reels. So keep that up so you can see some get some FaceTime with me. Sounds big, dude. That's it.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Count Chocula.